So after 6 days of continuous hiking through the Scottish roadsides to try and reach the wonderful mountains of Scotland and see what it has to offer in terms of what I love the most, which is obviously the mountainsides and nature and stuff, I have rolled up at last into a place called Drymen, which is an absolutely fabulous little town. It's got the sweetest people in it. I've met some just truly great people on this whole journey through Scotland. But at last you might be able to make out in the background there's mountains over that side, but I'm heading more over this way where you can see them there all the way stretching along. Now they're probably still a couple of days away yet. Obviously guys, I'm carrying a 22 kilogram pack, so that kind of slows me down a bit. And I will stop and I do explore the little local areas that I'm in, or sometimes I just need to rest, which is what I'm actually going to do now in Drymen while I'm here. I'm going to try and find a little bit of work and just pass through. Like I say, I've met some wonderful people. I'll have to do it. It's too easy for me on here to just give a quick shout out to the guys. I'm going to actually do a separate video on all the wonderful people I've met throughout this whole journey, and just try and share the level of love that I just feel for human beings in general now. Our species is absolutely incredible. So, good morning. A weird and wonderful turn of events here in Drymen in Scotland. Yesterday I put a post on Facebook, a local community Facebook page for like Drymen, I forget what it's called, Drymen community page, something like that. And I left a post up saying that I'm looking for some work, I'm in the area, and in typical Scottish fashion, it's like the entire village has responded and just completely wrapped you up and making sure you're okay. It's absolutely brilliant here. But this morning I've got some work, which is awesome because I've actually got work today and for the rest of the week and then all the following week. So this is a lovely turn of events that I wasn't expecting, but it also enables me to get some money together so I can buy some much needed new equipment, and also can carry on with these travels, and also can stay in Drymen for a little while and hopefully make some more friends and get to know some more people and carry on having a great time. But so far in Scotland, and particularly in this little village Drymen, absolutely brilliant. I'm loving the time here. It's so good. It actually feels kind of cool and kind of odd for the first time ever that I'm actually packing my tent up into my Bergen and then going to go and meet someone to do work. It just feels strange that you're taking your kind of house with you. Yeah, it's a really odd feeling that goes on. Everything's just exciting though on this journey. I don't know the guy I'm going to meet. We just spoke last night on Facebook from the post that I left up. In fact, I'll put the post up on here that I left because it might give you an idea of kind of how I generated this bit of work for myself and met new people in new areas. So it might be an interesting thing for some of you to read or see. And yeah, and then walking across the football pitch. Yeah, I stayed under that little part there. So it's kind of so cool to be doing this. And actually, whilst I'm here, have a look at this. I don't know if you can see it from here, but this house, I think you can just see the roof. This house there, I'm working in that all next week, helping him put some windows in and build a barbecue. So it's just so awesome that I just was sleeping over there and then get a job in that house there. But it's the wonderful things that keep happening to me on this journey, and it's all testament to what I say about when you find what it is, your vocation, your love of life, your love for yourself is the most important thing. Your love for yourself and your self-worth. When you realise that, you don't want to deprive yourself of all the things in life it is that you love. So you then find that you just generate a different energy. I will go deeper into how we can kind of do that kind of stuff on another video, but for this morning I've got to go to work. Anyway, have a great day, guys. I know some of you have been itching to see inside the glamorous tent life, but there really isn't much to report in the tent, guys, which is why I don't do a lot of recording from it, because I literally just get in it. I kind of set things up, which is not really setting things up, it's just taking it out of the Bergen, cook something to eat, and then go to sleep. Because you have to remember, with me doing this, I'm kind of living like this permanently and not just kind of hiking through, so I kind of have to take a bit more into account, if you see what I mean. But you're welcome to have a little look round. This is tonight, this is how it goes tonight. It's quite wet tonight, so we've just got a break in the rain, so I thought I'd record. But this is the tent tonight, so everything is waterproofed in here. This is kind of how it goes when it rains. I double check and keep everything dry. So a lot of the time my life is spent keeping things dry, because believe it or not, let me spin you around actually, there we go, because believe it or not, the tent, although is waterproof, still leaks bits coming in from the ceiling and stuff, like little drips going on it. And when things get wet, like this towel did 2 days ago, I'm still trying to dry it out. And also the socks, which are now on day 3 of trying to dry out, because where I have to move on, each day and get cracking, if something gets wet, I have to put this in bags, put it in the Bergen, take it with me to the next place, take it out again, dry it. So a lot of my time is spent doing kind of monotonous chores like that. Which are not the glamorous side of doing this life at all. But it's what I meant when I said I was prepared to put the hard work into my life and stop giving the hard work to the system, if you like, or to the 9-to-5 world. This is exactly what I meant. If I was prepared to put so much effort into trying to make that life work, ultimately going to work, doing a job that I didn't want to do, to then go and pay rent on a flat that I didn't particularly need, and a car that was only being, a van that was only being used to get me to work, to get the money to pay for the thing that I didn't particularly want. It just seems pointless to do all that hard work. I might as well do this hard work. I wonder if I can show you, hang on guys, I'll spin you around, because I don't know what it's like out here, if you can see much, but I'll try. Oh, that's a shame you can't see it, but you see the tree line in front of you there that you're looking at? Above that, there's actually mountains right far off in the distance, like a long way off. But you remember the shots I was showing you of the lake district, when you could see the light out, the silhouette of the mountains? That's what's right over there. But with the rain and the low cloud here, you can't see them in that at all. But what I was going to say is, all of this kind of thing that I do here, yes, it's hard work, yes, it's very uncomfortable in the moment. I feel sticky and clammy, and I'd love to have a shower, but I can't. You know, but that's the hard work that I'll put in order to be able to not have to worry about doing other work, if you like, and being able to see stuff like that in the morning. So it's all, I'm always happy doing this, even if at the time it can be a bit tiring and a bit laborious. You know, there's like this undercurrent of everything's good. So yeah, that's why I don't ultimately mind putting in the hard work that I just showed you, in order to kind of try and build this life that I'm trying to build. And yeah, so there you go. But anyway, that's tent life. I think it's going to start raining again in a little while. It's really loud in here when it rains tonight, or it was earlier, really loud, because it was a heavy downpour. And I thought, right, I better get everything waterproofed up, which also, when it's waterproofed up like that, if I now want to get something, I have to unpack everything, get that out and put it back. And that's why I don't always record in the tent, guys. I'm sure you can work it out. But yeah, so anyway, there you go. Okay, night. So all of this that you can see in the background here is part of the beauty that is Scotland. I'm just surrounded by just natural beauty. These things here, they are huge, guys. They are really huge. They look, I always, you know, kind of say the same thing. The camera does it no justice, but it really doesn't. In fact, you know what I'm going to say. Let me spin you around. So I tried to give off the reality of how big these things are, but it's kind of really hard to do it. But sometimes with me though, it's not about the size of these things. I think I might have said this before in my Lake District stuff. It's not always about the size, it's the contours and the landscaping that I absolutely love. So like all this stuff here in the distance there, I can see it all really clearly. And the way that it just kind of moves up and down of its own free will, and it kind of casts my mind back millions of years. I think it's 400 million years ago or something. These plates just crashed into each other and up popped these rocks. Now guys, if I'm wrong on that, please don't shoot the messenger. I'm kind of going off the top of my head here and things that I may have read in the past or whatever else, but either way, it's absolutely fascinating. And this place, Scotland, the United Kingdom, is just, it's just stunning. Scotland is, you can see it, and I'm not even in the Highlands yet. I'm still just on the fringes. I'm about 15 miles outside of Glasgow here, so makes me wonder what's coming up on this journey. So there you go. Is it just me, or does anyone else find woods or forests like that kind of eerie? I do all the time, but I absolutely love them. My friends often take the mick out of me because of how much I love trees. It's very in comparison with mountains, by the way. So yeah, I absolutely love them, but I think it's that silence that we get from them, this kind of like untamed nature that they are. No one telling them how to grow or where to grow or what to do, you know. It's just, they're kind of doing their thing, doing whatever they want to do. I like that. It always kind of, for me, always brings me back into reality of how, you know, we are just nature. We're out of this stuff. I've said that before in my last video, and probably in 100 other videos, to be honest, that we are this stuff. When we're here and we're in it and we're visiting it, we think we're coming to kind of like be in it and have a day out as such. No, we're going home when we come here. We literally go home. This is our habitat. This is where we evolved. This is where we come from. You know, we're out of this. We're not in it, we're out of it. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that little part, but as always, I go deeper into the whole nature part. But anyway, you guys seem to like it, so it's cool. And let me just spin you around, actually. This looks quite nice where I'm coming out to. I didn't know this was here. I have no idea what's coming up. I just literally was in the woods, walked around a little bend, and then it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. The best thing I ever did in the world was decide that I'm going to do what I want. Put some faith in myself, and whatever happens, happens, and I'll just deal with it at that time. I didn't intentionally plan on going to Drymen. It just kind of come about that I stumbled across this beautiful little town and decided to stay. But whilst I was there, I left a post on Facebook, on their local Facebook page. After I left this post, I actually had 6,000 responses to it, which is just crazy. I had over 500 comments and 150 personal messages sent to me via the good, wonderful people of Scotland. I now have connections and invites all over Scotland, guys, through leaving one post. And again, that's not a gloat, it's trying to say to people, this is what happens when you start living true to yourself and you let go of the beliefs that are always telling all of us that we can't, or we shouldn't, or why we shouldn't, or what we need to be doing. And you know, and most of us are living our life according to those constructed beliefs we have in us. Those of us that are fortunate enough to see those beliefs and be able to kind of go round them or go through them or just eradicate them altogether, we end up doing the things that we truly want to be doing in life. And mine is walking, talking, making videos, nature and mountains. And that's my entire life now. So I thought some of you might be a little bit interested to see what my kind of day-to-day little life is like in Drymen whilst I'm here and I found some work. Well, this is the wonderful guest house that I've been staying in, owned by Chris and Fiona, who live in the village. It's called the Braeside. It's a wonderful little place, but they've been putting me up there and I've been doing bits and pieces of work around their house and stuff, and they've turned into good friends now, so that's awesome. But this is the little village. Oh, I will give you a look around the rooms as well a bit later on. But this is the little village where I've been working and met so many people here, the good folk of Drymen. But it's kind of getting to that point now where it's time to move on a little bit. But this is the local coffee shop. So today I'm working in there for a little while, doing the guy's garden, and he gives me free coffees and stuff like that, and has also turned into a good friend. But over there's another little hotel in the town. I'm crossing the road here, so it's a little bit of a busy morning this morning because the kids have got their first day going back to school. So it's the first time I've got to see the village with kind of teeming with life like this, if you like. But it's a lovely little place. It really is a lovely little place. And I'll be heading off further, going all around Scotland and stuff like that. But at some point, when the journey kind of either ends or if I decide I want to settle down, Drymen would definitely be a strong contender. This place here is another lovely food restaurant called the Drymen Inn. So if you want to if you're thinking of coming to Scotland for a holiday, Drymen's a perfect little base to go because there's so many little areas around here that are kind of like landmark features, if you like. Like there's Loch Lomond just down the road. There's Connick Hill, which is just a little bit further up the hill that way. And you wouldn't get a friendlier reception, not from what I've experienced anyway. But then I've only been to a few places in Scotland, so if it gets any more friendly than this, then it's just going to be unbelievable. So my walk this morning to work consisted of going from that white building there into this building here and having a coffee. It's so awesome. I've loved being here for a couple of weeks. Yeah, I'd be quite sad to see it go, but I'm here for another 3 or 4 days yet. There's my kit. You can see it all tidied up. There's no trace of me being here at all once that's gone. And this is beautiful Loch Lomond. And there was some little ducks there just a minute ago crawling along this front part here. So really quite beautiful. But it's going to be, there's a weather warning coming, so it's going to be, heavens are going to open up in about 40 minutes or so. So I'm going to get back to a little town called Luss. So anyway, but it was a lovely night here at Loch Lomond. Cheers, guys. This is the room that I'm staying in. The rooms at this place are so sweet. I love them. It's a little bathroom. Yeah, it's so cool. This was a last minute one. I actually thought I was going to be sleeping out tonight. And then the owner, Chris, actually sent me a text saying, if you can get to the pro side now, room 3's available. So I just sprinted down. It was like, oh, I just caught the guy before he locked up and left. So I got the key and come in, and it's wonderful. And so, yeah, all of that from, you know, and then do a little bit of work in return for that. So absolutely wonderful. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that. That's Conic Hill. It's a beautiful place. And I'm just now, I've come down this side of Conic Hill, and now I'm going to walk down to a lovely little place called Balmaha.
There's a gate on the sunset.